I've got about another minute. So I have to move over to shooting stuff, and then if I don't move soon, I'll lose it.
Come on, Joey!
That's fun too. I'm gonna be facing the time slot, but that's on the
Welcome into Riverbend Golf and Recreation Center at beautiful Winter's Day here in Red Deer, Alberta for the Women's Pursuit event here at the 2019 Canada Winter Games Biathlon competition. I am Sean Linder here to bring you all of the action for today's 7.5-kilometer race. It will feature 4 rounds of shooting, 2 in the prone position, 2 in the standing positions as well, for 20 shots total. But beware, each miss will result in a 150-meter penalty loop for each skier. Shooting accuracy, as always, is going to be paramount.
Correct.
In today's biathlon. Today's Women's Pursuit features 40 athletes from 12 different provinces. Only Nunavut is without an athlete in today's race, and the race will begin, or has begun, with skiers exiting the starting blocks in 5-second intervals. Based on the results of Sunday's sprint race, the first racer to cross the finish line will take home the gold medal. The subject of everyone's attention to begin today's race is Jenna Sherrington from Alberta. She was the gold medalist in the women's sprint on Sunday, one of 4 Albertans competing in this biathlon competition, who was at the World Junior Championships in Slovakia earlier this month. She was the only one on the women's side for that. She finished the sprint race with a lead of 24.9 seconds on Sunday to take home the gold. So we're just getting a look here at skiers number 32, 33 coming out of the blocks, coming around the corner.
Good job, Lauren.
A long race, 7.5 kilometers. Once again, 4 laps of the course here at Riverbend. The weather today, it's one of the nicest days we've had here during the competition here in Red Deer at -7. Feels like -11, a bit of overcast. It was sunnier earlier on. We have some snow scheduled to hit the area around 4:30, which will be well after today's race finishes off. So we should have some pretty clear conditions today for the And now we're seeing the final skier come around. That's number 40 in the bib, Megan Costain from the graduate. This is her first time in the game.
Atta girl, Emma, let's go! Atta girl!
And today, just a heads up, everybody, we're working with some brand new technology here on the biathlon course. The first time this has been used to broadcast biathlon in Canada, so there may be some little inconsistencies here and there, but we hope that you enjoy the race today. We're getting a good look here at skiers number 37, 38. First, it's Catherine Zember from PEI in the 37 bid. Emily
You got her, Megs. Go get her. Go get her.
In the 38 bid. It's her first Canada Games. She's a first-year student at the University of New Brunswick. And here comes Jenna Sherrington, the leader, coming into the shooter's blocks for the very first round of shooting. They'll be in the prone position, which is laying down. The first 2 rounds are laying down, followed by 2 standing. She's there with skier number 2, Pascal Paradis. These are 2 heavyweights on this Alberta team. They ended up sweeping the podium on Sunday. Sherrington with the gold, Pascal Paradis second place, 25 or so seconds back. And then Naomi Walk from Alberta as well finished third. A couple skiers from BC here as well. Number 4, Larissa Black. And then Jillian Gowling in 5th right there. And the skiers are all starting to file in here through the shooting zone.
Good job, Lauren. Good job.
We hope to have some live, we don't have graphics for today's broadcast, but we do hope to have some live updates of how the shooters are doing. Once again, anyone who misses a shot will have to take a 150-meter penalty lap. Obviously, shooting is very, very paramount.
Go area. Push up, bump up. Focus on that technique. Keep pushing through, Claire. Keep pushing. Focus.
On lane 4, shooting clean. Naomi Walsh, clean target.
Atta girl, I'm girl.
Number 15 getting into the shooting block now. It's Emma Mitchell from Manitoba. And the skiers are starting to move away from the blocks now. Skier number 9 there we can see on the screen. That's Carly Coyne from Alberta, another member of this loaded Alberta team. A lot of very good athletes. 4
Carly Coyne,
top 10 of today's start list for the women's race.
Natalie Benoit, shooting clean.
Good job, Meg. Good job.
I'm aiming at the penalty loop.
Pampois from Quebec shooting a clean target.
Yeah, so when I pan left, then I can see them either enter the penalty loop or hit the track.
And we got some more skiers coming in here. Number 24. 25, so we're already seeing the order mixed up a little bit here. The skiing, of course, is not just all about shooting. The skiing, of course, is extremely important here. It's a 7.5K race, so pacing yourself will be a challenge. We have skiers number 18 and 23 coming here. 18, we have Callie Campbell at a PEI. This is her second Canada Olympic Games. Took part in Prince George at age 15, and her brother Carson is on the national men's biathlon team. Callie won a gold at the 2016 Canadian Nationals before taking a couple years off from competition to focus on her studies. Here we have skier number 23 at the shooting block. This is Megan Smith. She's the sister of someone we'll be seeing later on today, Lucas Smith. He's one of the heavy hitters in the men's competition, but Megan is no slouch herself. Funny story, Megan picked up the sport after volunteering at one of her brother's races. She got bored volunteering and decided, hey, I'm going to just pick this sport up now. And look, she's here games shooting for Manitoba. And a few skiers coming out of that penalty loop. The dreaded penalty loop.
Still athletes coming in for the first round at the range.
The best shooters today we're hoping to see with one or two misses. There was only one shooter on Sunday who shot clean in the women's event. That is Ontario's Hannah Skelton. She's in the number 6 bid today. Here we see number 26, Madison Talliard. She recently won a double gold at the NORAM Cup number 2 event in Fort Kent, Maine. She's from Nova Scotia. As I was saying, the best shooters today are hoping for one or two misses. 80 or close to 90% from the blocks would be ideal. Some skiers had some trouble. Carly Coyne in particular, again, one of the heavy hitters on this Alberta team. She finished 9th. And that was with 6 shooting penalties. Also, Zoe Picos of Ontario, another one of the contenders here, had 5 shooting penalties, and that was just in 2 shooting rounds on Sunday for the sprint. So Picos and Coyne in particular are going to look to improve their shooting because they did not shoot along with the contenders the way they would have liked to on Sunday.
So our leaders are now back.
Here we're seeing skier number 21. That's Kaylee Dean of Manitoba. She's from Falcon Lake, Manitoba. And it's an interesting day for Kaylee Dean. She says in her personal bio that she loves biathlon, but hates the cold weather. So she must be at least sort of thrilled that today is the warmest day in Red Deer since the games began. She grew up idolizing ex-national team member Megan Imrie. She competed at the 2010 and 2014 Olympic Games in Vancouver and Sochi. And we're back with the second round of shooting. Here is skier number 2, Pascal Paradis. She qualified for the World Youth Trials, for the World Youth Championships in Slovakia, and also beat Slovakia in late January, early February, but chose not to attend because she wanted to attend her studies before coming to the Canada Games here.
Good job, guys, good job. That's it, Taz. Atta girl, good job. That's it. Keep working over. That's it.
Shooting clean for BC, Lursa Black on her second prone shooting.
At the end of the interval start.
Also shooting clean on lane 3. I believe that's Jillian Gowley.
Jumping up the back part there.
So BC.
There is number 23, Megan Smith. We don't have.
Looks like we've got about a 4-way race.
But to judge from where Megan Smith is in attack, seems like she may have had to take a couple of those penalty loops.
So all skiers are through the range for the first shooting. Their second shooting is also prone.
Here for another round of shooting. One of the sweetest sounds in all of sports is a full biathlon shooter.
Good job, Emma. Good job. Keep it going. Keep it going.
There we see Jenna Sherrington came in as the leader once again. Gold on Sunday in the sprint.
Up.
We're seeing Natalie
Good job,
Benoit
Emma. Good job.
of BC, Summerland, BC, 18 years old. She represented BC at the 2017 Biathlon Nationals. Get away from the shooter's block there. And it looks like she's headed into the penalty loop.
Go, Zara. Go, Zara.
And look at that, skier number 40. Megan Costain looks as though she avoided the penalty loop on this time around shooting. Once again, to those just tuning in, this is the 7.5 kilometer pursuit race for the women here at the Canada Games in Red Deer, Alberta. All 40 skiers started off in intervals of 5 seconds, beginning with the leader, Jenna Sherrington, who won the sprint race.
Clean 10 skeleton away. She shoots clean from Ontario.
And they went off in 5-second intervals after that. Jenna Sherrington, Pascal Paradis, Naomi Walk, the three Alberta heavyweights.
Also shooting clean in lane 12.
Marissa Black
I
and
believe that was
Gallagher
Mackenzie
of
Turner,
BC, Hannah
also
Skelton
from
of Ontario,
Ontario.
Natalie Benoit of BC, Zoe Picos of Ontario, Carly Coyne in 9th, and Pauline Grandbois in 10th of Quebec.
Lane 14,
Coming
shooting
up in the
clean.
men's pursuit race,
Calista
Pauline's
Bird.
brother Leo Grandbois is in the pole position to begin the pursuit race.
That's it, Hannah. Looking great, man. Looking
Casey
great.
Spear.
Good job,
Clean
Hannah.
shooting continues. Saskatchewan skier Hannah Stadek.
Japper Venot of Quebec.
Lane 16 shooting clean. Pin number 17, Danica Ariano.
Good job, Max.
These
Let's go.
calm conditions ideal for shooting for these athletes today. Warm temperatures don't hurt either.
Yeah. Here coming out of the penalty block there. Those penalty loops, they will kill you.
So again, athletes are in for their second prone shooting bout. They'll be shooting 4 times today.
Once again, everybody's
Last 2
watching.
shootings will be
This is
standing.
the first time this technology has been used to broadcast biathlon in
When they are
Canada.
shooting
Of course,
prone, there's a smaller black target inside the black box that we see. And when they're shooting standing, it's the larger black disc they'll be shooting.
Back
So
around.
shooting
And Louise from Saskatchewan, she's a biology student at Campion College in Regina. And she listed in her student bio that one of her goals was to make the 2019 Canada Winter Games. Looks like she has done that. Here we see skier number 28, Chloe Bargan. Another one of the skiers here with a sibling competing in the men's race later on. Chloe is from Saskatchewan. She's been winning medals for a long time in biathlon. She won 2 silvers
Kaylee Dean
and
is
a
away,
bronze
shooting
at
4-5.
Saskatchewan
Manitoba.
Games.
Also from Manitoba, wearing bib number 15, Emma Mitchell leading the range. She also has 1 target standing, so 1 point there.
Joining her on the block there.
Our leader is in the range. Wearing bib number 2, Pascal Paradis. She'll be standing on lane 1.
Up and over.
There we get a look
And over.
at one of the favorites in this race,
Close
Pascal
on her
Paradis
heels, a
from
pair
Alberta.
of BC
Moving
athletes,
into her
Larissa
shooting
Black and Jillian Gowling
standing
coming in the
shooting
range.
rounds, the first of her 2
Good job,
seasons.
Max.
Our
Looking
race
great.
for
Looking
the
great.
podium.
She's half done the race. These are typically the more difficult shot for the
Naomi
skiers.
Walsh, bib number 5 coming in, her first standing bout.
Close up of Parody there. Another one of the members of this extremely loaded Alberta team. If you watch Norway, or you know what Norway does in international biathlon competition, that's kind of what Alberta does.
Challenge on the range for Pascal. She hits 1 of 5, so she's got 4 penalty loops.
But there we see Parody having to go into the penalty loop. Some of the
Larissa
skiers
Black is away. She hits 4 of 5, so she's got 1 penalty loop.
Shoot now.
Jillian Gowling cleans for BC. This is advantage
Of
Jillian.
course.
She will avoid the penalty loop.
And there we see number 3, Naomi Walk, again third in the
And
sprint
Alberta's got some
Sunday
work to do.
That's it.
in her
Good job,
standard
Let's
shooting.
go.
And we can see the disparity between the top of the field here
Naomi Walsh with a
That
pair of
Alberta
misses.
team
She's got
already
two
onto
belly
those
loops to
shooting
do.
standing rounds, while some others are still
Now,
on their prone rounds.
Alberta is
She
chasing
again is going to
BC.
have to go into the penalty loop. 150 meters adds up. This is a 7.5-kilometer race. Pile up 5 of those
Good work, good
penalty
work.
loops. You're looking at adding
So we now have a mix of athletes shooting their second prone, and the first shooters coming in for their standing still.
Okay. Yeah.
Good job, up.
Natalie Benoit settling in on lane
They're still
5.
gonna come from one.
You see skier number 6.
BC, Carly Coyne coming in
Hannah
on
Skelton.
range for Alberta.
Once again, the only clean shooter in the field for Sunday's sprint and 2 rounds of shooting. On Sunday, they had 1 prone round and 1 standing round. Fun fact about Hannah Skelton, her father, Chris, is her wax
Hannah
tech.
Skelton
Josh,
and
let's
Jenna
go!
Sharon settling in for their
Good
first
job!
standing bouts. So we've got a pack of
There's number
racers
7,
now
Natalie
coming in.
Benoit from BC. Benoit is leaving the blocks here. Let's see if she incurred any penalties there. Unfortunately, we do not have the technology available right now to see the graphic of the shooting the way you might in an Olympic broadcast, but we're doing our best here to keep up.
Good job, Joy, good job. You're gaining, man, that's it. Keep working.
Currently getting an update from the ground. We have Pascal Parody in the lead. Larissa Black is in second place. Actually, Jillian Gowling of BC, number 5, has taken over the lead.
Up. Let's go. Let's go, Maddie. Catch him. Let's go.
Here's the skier number 26. Coming across the straightaway here. It's Madison Talliard of Nova Scotia. And we're here once again at the shooting range. We're looking at this camera. The skier number 19, that's Callista Burke. Her sister Danica is also competing here today. She's number 25. They're both from Northwest Territories. Camera 1 is red.
Okay, most racers now in and done their third shooting bout.
Calgary Biathlon's
Waiting for the leaders to come back on range.
Callista competed in 2018 at the Arctic Winter Games in
We
snowshoe
will expect to
biathlon.
see BC.
Which sounds
skiers
even
coming in
harder than
first,
it was
followed
already
by
incredibly
Alberta.
Once again with biathlon, it just seems like skiing and shooting, but you have to also have
In the
to
race
remember,
of
very small
pursuit,
targets they're
every
shooting
shot
at.
counts. So
The heart rates
it always comes down to the
extremely
final shooting.
And it is
Those
not
that can
easy
shoot
to
clean and
focus
avoid
in
the penalty loop.
Good job.
on the mark.
Let's go, Mac. Let's go.
As Callie
Good
Campbell
job,
of
Good
PEI
job.
has just learned.
Natasha Varrier, Ontario.
Massive
and
skaters,
Piper
skiers coming
Minot
out.
from Quebec coming in on range.
I
Their
keep
first
saying
standing
skaters,
bout.
excuse me.
Atta girl, come on, Emma. Up.
Here we have number 8 coming into the shooting block, Zoe Picos. Once again, she is one of the most inaccurate shooters for the
Also
race
coming in on range.
on
Zoe
Sunday.
Picos from Ontario.
She incurred 5 shooting penalties, 4 of which came in her 1 round.
I think it was
5
after
shots
first,
from the
25
standing position.
coming in. Yes.
Keep it up, girl.
You see number 16 as well. That is Tash Verrier, also from Ontario. She just returned from representing Canada at the 2019
These athletes are
World
all
Junior
shooting their
Championships
first
in
standing bout.
Slovakia.
They'll have one more
As a
standing bout to do.
skier.
Here we go. This is our leader coming in on range. Group number 5, Jillian Gowling.
10 kilometers.
Settling in on lane number 11.
All right,
Competing
Callie,
against
let's
the
go,
entire
Callie.
world.
Let's go.
Verrier's
Marshall Black, as expected, coming around the corner. Group number 4.
now. That's Kaylee Dean once again.
Come on, Zora.
The one who hates the cold but competes in the winter sport.
That's the girl. Keep it up.
I hate the cold and I sit in the studio and call the winter sports. You see Zoe Picos leave there. Let's see how Zoe did. Emma Mitchell from Manitoba in the 15 bid. She shot really well on Sunday. Just 1 miss from the prone position. Clean understanding shots. She's also a dual sport athlete, is Emma Mitchell, number 15.
Kelly,
She competed in canoe
4-5
kayak
on
at the
lane
2013
11.
Canada Summer
Larissa
Games,
Black
Coming to my frame.
as well as at the 2015
For the
Western
goal.
Canada Summer Games, and then
BC
again.
is away. They both have a penalty left to do. This is now a drag race for the line.
Way down here, instead of taking that turn, the finish line, they're
She
going
won
to
a
go straight
bronze
by.
medal.
This is
The
exciting.
camera over behind her.
We're still waiting for our third place skiers to come in.
Camera 2.
Here she is, wearing good number 2, Pascal Parody from Alberta.
I think we're seeing one of the leaders here, one of the favorites, Naomi Walk, coming in the number 3
On
bid.
lane 14.
I believe this will be her last round of shooting from the standing position.
Jillian comes out of the penalty loops first. Larissa Black chasing hard.
Some other skiers coming in as well. Let's see what we've got
Naomi
here.
Walsh, bib number 3.
Oh, there's Jenna
In
Sherrington.
for her final shooting, she comes
The
in
pole
4th
position
place.
coming in. She's trailing Walk right now. And then we see number 28 coming in as well. Chloe Bargan of Saskatchewan. Once again, we'll see her brother Aaron.
Jenna Sherrington wearing bib number 1 on lane 17.
Pascal Parody.
Pascal cleans it. She's on chasing
She's
BC.
got to go into the
Can she
loop
close the gap? Can she catch BC?
powerfully into that
Naomi
freestyle
Walsh.
skate.
She's got 2 penalty loops.
She's
Leaves an opportunity for
clear
the
of the loop.
chasers.
It looks like that is big for Pascal
Jenna
Parody.
Sherrington with 4-5.
Zach's in a no walking.
And we've
Shooting
got
clean on the final
the
round
Brunswick
through.
skier shot clean there, and I apologize, I didn't see the number. But she shoots
Early in
clean
the
on
final
lane
lap, we have a skier
16.
from BC currently in first place.
Got it? For the start of it. Go Pascal! I think he gets those small man
It's going to be really demoralizing to go through that penalty loop and then have to go up a hill. I'm tired just looking at it, and I'm sitting in a chair. Jillian Gowling of BC is currently in the lead
One of them's out here.
on her final lap. She's followed closely by her teammate, Larissa Black, and then Pascal Parody, who we just saw go through with a clean final shooting round.
Chloe Bargan with a miss from
Is
Saskatchewan on
following
lane 18.
behind the 2 BC athletes. We're working on establishing a finish line
Skiers still
camera.
coming in on the range for their final shooting
Once
bout.
again, we have 4 camera operators braving the cold down
And we
there
are waiting
at
for
the Riverbend
finishers.
Golf and Recreation Center, bringing you all the action.
I can't see the far side of the course.
Still
so I
looking
didn't
at a few
see,
kicks.
if Larissa caught Jillian.
But Jillian Gowling for BC is leading the race right now.
And then we have
We're
Pascal
seeing
Parody
skier
and
number
Naomi Walsh.
32.
Jenna Sherrington all
That is
chasing
Aria McDonald from Port Williams, Nova Scotia.
for that final podium
She
spot.
got a second place finish in an Eastern Canadian Championship sprint event on her resume.
Range is full again.
Message
Final
skiers
shootings.
coming around.
Every shot
on
counts.
that penalty loop.
be it, man. Now I'm in the loop.
Coming across the straightaway here.
Chris, is that Mac
I
and
believe our
6?
leaders will be getting close to that finish line.
From my vantage point, I can see the penalty loop is full of traffic.
There we have skier number 37 at the shooter's block, Catherine Zember of PEI. She's off,
The leading skiers are headed around
as is
that
number
hill.
17.
All right.
That is Danica Ariano of BC from Vernon, BC. She won bronze in the sprint event at the 2018 Nationals.
Here comes our finishers. Let's hear it. I see BC suits. Bib number 4, Larissa Black
That's a
coming
skiers
for
going
gold. Jillian Gowling close on her heels for silver.
I think they're coming.
Larissa Black. Jillian Gowling coming in for the silver.
And here we finally have ourselves a finish line cam. Coming across here is
Reversing the
Jillian
fortunes
Gowling.
of the sprint race
It looks
on
as though
Chili Sunday.
Larissa Black
He finds
has come
redemption.
across in first
Well done,
place.
ladies. Great
Getting
race.
a confirmation from down on the ground.
Here
Both
comes our
BC skiers
third place finisher. We're in pit number 2 from Alberta,
just in a heat
Pascal
on the finish
Paradis.
there. But they've done it.
Bring it strong, bring it strong.
So it's going to be BC taking over the 1-2. In here we see Pascal
Great race.
Paradis. She's going to
Well
come
done.
third. So she'll drop a position from her silver medal performance in the sprint. And she's going to
Slow
join
races in the
her fellow
range.
athletes there
Shooting
at
their
the
second
finish.
standing bout.
Big day for the BC skiers after Alberta was heavy favorites coming in with Sherrington, Paradis, and Walk. A nice embrace there at the finish line between Paradis, Gowling, and your winner,
I see a
Larissa
hard
Black.
charging Alberta suit coming
of
in
BC.
for 4th place. Looks like Jenna
Still a lot of speed to do for a lot of
Sherrington,
these
Go, Matt! Go,
athletes as
Matty!
well. Penalty loops,
Biathlon is a
shooting.
very unforgiving sport. Well done, Jenna. Great
On the
race.
sprint race
Sorry,
from Sunday. Jenna Sherrington, when she won, she finished a whole
We're
19
not having
minutes
the
ahead
lucky Marie ahead on
of the
Sunday.
last place finisher. Here we see Jenna Sherrington coming in now
Doing very well on range.
in 4th place, down
To
from the first place
and
position she
second.
held coming in. So the pursuit was successful for Black, Gowling, and Paradis. We see Paradis meeting her teammate there at the finish line. Love to see that. Here we see skier number 19.
Naomi Walsh
One
coming
of the British
in.
sisters here. 24 is McKenna
Fifth
Weir
place.
from Saskatchewan.
Let's hear it for Naomi Walsh.
Once again, please stick around.
Good job. Great race.
Beginning at about 2:45, we will have the men's race. The 10-kilometer pursuit race. Here comes Naomi Walk. She will finish in a row with her Alberta teammates
From Ontario,
in 5th
I am guessing.
after her bronze medal performance on Sunday in the sprint.
Yes, Mackenzie Turner coming home for Ontario. Great race. Let's hear it for Mackenzie.
And here coming into the finish line, that looks like skier number 12. Making a big jump is Mackenzie Turner of Ontario. Her second Canada Winter Games. She was in Prince George in 2015, and she was Ontario's flag bearer for the opening ceremonies here in Red Deer on Friday night. She's going to come in 6th place. So an impressive jump up from 12th for Mackenzie Turner. Again, we don't have the accurate shooting numbers just yet, but that must mean Mackenzie Turner had herself a pretty great shooting performance. Here we see skier number 27 at the shooter block.
He hits 3 of 5. Good job, Lauren.
Lauren Martin of New Brunswick. This is her first
We have
Canada
another
Games.
finisher.
She's
Pit
a
number
second-year
11,
chemical
Candace
engineering student at the University of New Brunswick, coached by her father, Trent. Coming into the finish line now, looks like number 11. That's Janice Grundall of Saskatchewan. She was one of the best shooters in the field in the sprint. She hit 9 of her 10 shots, and it looks like she had another great shooting performance today.
We're in pit
Moving
number
up from
7,
11
coming home.
into 7th position,
BC.
if my count is correct.
Good job, Natalie.
Still skiers filing in here.
Carly Coy
That looks
from
like number
Alberta.
7. That's Natalie Benoit of BC.
Excellent race. Good job, Carly.
And she will finish in 8th place. Still shooters in the standing rounds at the shooter range. Shooter's range. That's number 33.
This is Hannah Skelton coming home for
Emma
Ontario.
Myers from Yukon.
For pit number 6.
Came up with the
Pit number
Biathlon
13,
Yukon
Frederick Cruz
Velocities.
from Quebec.
Coming into the finish now.
Haley
Looks
Campbell.
like that is skier.
And Danica Ariano.
I couldn't quite pick up the number there. A bunch of skiers coming
Number
in.
10, this is Pauline Gravois.
About a quarter of the field looks to be finished the race.
Pauline.
Here we see skier number 10. That is Pauline Grandbois. Once again, Pauline's brother Leo is in the pole position for the pursuit for the men coming up after this race. Here we see number 21, Kaylee Dean from Manitoba once again.
So we are about 50 minutes away from the start of the youth men's race.
Chloe Bargan, I believe this is her last shooting round. Mostly last shooting rounds here for the skiers. Alexis Berard from Manitoba there as well.
Finishers coming in.
And it looks like Chloe Bargan has avoided the penalty loop on the final lap. That is good to see. Coming into the finish here, we have skiers
pouring it into the finish.
Pan back over. Plenty of skiers coming into the finish now, though. There we see number 30.
Natasha Margay,
Alexis Bernard still firing off her final round of standing shots. Behind her, Aria McDonald of Nova Scotia. Into the finish now, skier number 16. That is Tash Verrier of Ontario. Once again, it was Ozervly, Slovakia last month for the youth championships. And there's skier number 8.
Giving everything out today.
That's Zoe Picos. Unfortunately for Picos, must have been another rough shooting night for her, shooting day for her after her 5 shooting penalties incurred in the sprint. She comes in well below her finish of 8th in the sprint. Once again, we still do not have accurate shooting information. Just doing some little insurance work here. There's skier number 22 coming into the finish. That is Adriana Imond from Quebec, Saguenay, Quebec to be exact. She won herself a pair of bronze at the Quebec Cup in 2017 and competed at the National Championship in 2017 as well. A lot of these skiers, pretty much all of these skiers, incredibly young, yet have been doing it for an extremely long time, 10, 8 years for many of them. Here's number 21 coming in. That's Kaylee Dean, once again from Falcon Lake, Manitoba, coming into the finish. A couple more stragglers in the penalty loops here, perhaps commiserating with each other about that dreaded 150-meter loop that precedes another climb on this track here at Riverbend. There we see skier number 29 in the shooter's block. That's Claire St. Croix of Newfoundland. Claire comes from a line of St. Croix who have competed in the Canada Games. Her sister Rita competed in biathlon in 2015, as did her brother John, who competed in squash in 2015 in Prince George. Squash, one of the many sports contested here once again at the Canada Winter Games in Red Deer. Of course, you can check out all of our sports with the webcasts at canadagames.live. Here we see skier number 31. That's Zora Wendt of PEI. Her brother Fidel Wendt is on the PEI cross-country team.
Good job, Maddie. 10 seconds and you got 10 seconds. Let's go.
Plenty of skiers coming into the final stretch of the race now as well. There's skier number 15, Emma Mitchell. Looks as though she's dropped a little bit from her finish on Sunday in the sprint. She, of course, representing Manitoba. Couple more skiers. Skier number 35, stumbling a little bit there coming out of the penalty loop, was Emma Septon of New Brunswick. This is her second Canada Games. She competed in 2015 in Prince George as well, and is a second-year Police Foundation student. Here's skier number 38, Emily Sherwinski. Going in for some penalty loops.
Go, Aria. Come on, let's go, 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 go. Good girl. Good job. Good job. Good Good job.
Just an unbelievable amount of respect for these athletes.
27.
Has to be one of the most grueling sports competed in here at the Canada Games. Here's Lauren Martin of New Brunswick coming in, of Miramichi, New Brunswick. You can see her just gasping for air there. Thankfully, the skiers are not breathing in negative 20-degree air today. It's just about -7 down up there at Riverbend, just north of where we're located here at the Gary Harris Center. And coming in here, it's like numbers 28 and 33 coming into the finish. Emma Marnick, number 33, looks like she got a bit of a boost on her finish from Sunday. Again, still waiting for official results. We don't have that available to us just yet. Bear with us. 28 there was Chloe Bargan, who we've seen a few times today. This is Zora Went making that last grueling climb. I'm tired just looking at it. And this is Megan Costain of New Brunswick, once again in her first Canada Winter Games. She's only in grade 11. When I was in grade 11, I was certainly not doing anything like this. A lot of Nintendo GameCube, I would assume. Here comes skier number 23. That is Megan Smith of the Red River Nordic Club near Winnipeg. Once again, Megan's brother Lucas coming up in the men's race very shortly here. Once this course is cleared, it looks as though the men will just get right on into it. Coming up in the men's race, Leo Grandbois of Quebec is in the pole position, but a strong team of a lot of Albertans and some BC skiers, as well as a contender from Saskatchewan will be following him up. We've got Leo Grandbois, we've got Reed Lovestrom of Alberta in the second position, Andre Secu of BC third. In the number 4 bib will be Logan Pletz of Saskatchewan, Brian Eldon of BC in 5th spot, Halden Borglum of Alberta in the 6th place, and it'll go on down from there as we come to the end here. If you're hearing some strange music in the background, it's because we are doing our broadcast from the Gary Harris Center, which is the hub for all of the games. And there's a large contingent of flash mobbing dancers and
guys lining
outside,
up.
so apologies for
Camera
that.
to the start line. Camera 2.
Two more finishers coming home. This is bib number 39.
And once again, back to the finish line. We'll see who's coming across here now.
Get the start line.
This is skier number
That is Zora Went from PEI.
39, it
Followed
seems.
very closely by Madison Collier, Nova Scotia.
That is Amelie Latour of Yukon, 17 years old, from Whitehorse. And here's skier number 26.
I have to say, I think Nova Scotia
That
did
is
a
Madison Talliard of Nova Scotia. Latour of
sharp winning
Yukon with
suit.
a nice jump in her standing. She was 39th out of 40 skiers in the sprint on Sunday, so a nice outing from Latour.
Okay, the men are
Latour's first
assembling
major
on the
competition
starting
was
grid.
2016
5
Arctic
minutes.
Winter Games in Nuke, Greenland,
5 minutes to start.
where she picked up a bronze in the 3x2 kilometer juvenile relay. The relay, of course, will be coming up with Biathlon later on
They just
this week.
announced men's are starting in 5 minutes.
And it looks as though we're getting set to begin the men's race very shortly here. Coming in here, we've got skier number 32, Aria McDonald, Port Williams, Nova Scotia. And just getting word that the men's race will be beginning in about 5 minutes. Here we see skier number 38 coming up. The last treacherous climb. It's Emily Sherwinski of New Brunswick. look at the skiers beginning.
Here we go, bib number 35.
That's Leo Grandbois.
Come on. Another finisher coming in. This is Katie Thistle, wearing bib number 36. Newfoundland and Labrador.
And we're seeing here, coming in to the finish line, looks like skier number 36. That is Kate Thistle of Newfoundland. Katie Thistle, excuse me.
There are still more people coming on the track.
Raced at the 2018 Eastern Canadian Championships, which was her first high-level competition. Now she's here at the Canada Games.
From Newfoundland and Labrador, coming in for the youth women, we're in bib 29. This is Claire St. Croix.
So 4 skiers on the course to finish up for the women
Pushing it
before
all
the
the way.
men's
Great
pursuit
job, Claire.
gets going.
Again, one to start getting the starting position. I'll start getting the starting position for the men. So number 1.
Here coming up that last climb. That looks like Megan Costain of New Brunswick. Once again, just in grade 11 is Megan Costain. She is going to be a name to watch for the future on the biathlon tour here in Canada.
You did it!
That's it!
Great job, Catherine, all the way.
Come on!
That's it, Katie!
Come on, Kate!
Way to go, Katie! Way to go!
Here at the finish line, a nice embrace between skier number 38, Emily Sherwinski, and number 37, Catherine Zember. Both looking gassed, as they should be after a race like that. We were getting some word that the in-venue announcements were a little bit loud. We have fixed that audio. Thank you to those who have messaged in. Once again, dealing with some first run technical difficulties here with our broadcast, but we appreciate you putting up with us. Just a couple more skiers to go coming in. I don't have a handle on who those might be, so it'll be a nice little surprise for both you and me when they come around the corner. The men's race is getting started very shortly. And the men's race has begun. Here is Leo Grandbois of Quebec. He is the leader. It's a 5-second head start for him, and everyone is in pursuit. Here is bib number 42, Reed Lovestrom of Alberta, followed by bib number 43, Andre Sekou of BC. Logan Pletz of Saskatchewan will be following him up at bib number 44. 45 is Ryan Eldon, also of BC, with his teammate Sekou. Halden Borglum, one of the strong members of this Alberta team in 46, coming around the corner now. 47, we have Lucas Smith of Manitoba. His sister Megan was in the women's pursuit just a couple minutes ago. Here's 48, Ethan Algra of BC. Zachary Demers of Quebec is 49. He's coming out. Jake Draper is 50 from Yukon. Then we have Oliver Holder of Quebec in bib number 51. Then we have 53, Michio Green of Saskatchewan. Chad Burling of Alberta is in bib number 54. Here's bib number 56, Thomas Holzman. He's following Tobias Quinn of Ontario. And we have Frederic Amel of Quebec in bib number 57. In 58, we have Troy Martel coming around the corner. I would assume, yeah, there's Troy. Bib number 58 from Ontario, followed by his Ontario teammate, number 59, Keegan Tremblay. Maybe the coolest name in the field, Romeo Champagne of Yukon is up in bib number 60. 61 is Jesse Byrne of Newfoundland. Jeremy Lee of New Brunswick is in 62. 63 is Aaron Bargan. His sister Chloe Bargan was in the women's pursuit just before, both from Saskatchewan. Here's Brett Down, also of Saskatchewan, in 64. Aiden Houpe in 65 from the Yukon. Levi Brunel of Manitoba in 66 coming around the corner now. Then there's Mark Naylor of Manitoba in 67. Felix Cote of New Brunswick in 68. Colin Niles, 69, New Brunswick. Spencer Littlefair of the Northwest Territories is at number 70. He'll be coming around the corner next. Samuel Parsons is 71 from Newfoundland. Simon Hale, 72 from PEI. Francois Leclerc of New Brunswick is in 73. Ian Mitchell in 74 from Manitoba. 75 is Matthew Jelly from PEI. There's 74. Ian Mitchell, followed by Matthew Jelly in that PEI uniform. His teammate Liam Ellis is 76, also from PEI. Lucas Hann of Newfoundland is in 77, and Zach Connolly comes up. He is the lone participant in this race, number 78, who did not compete on Sunday in the sprint, and they are all out of the blocks now. Once again, Leo Grandbois of Quebec started 5 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack as the winner of the sprint on Sunday. For those just tuning in, this is a 10-kilometer race, 4 laps of the course at River Bend Golf and Recreation Center in Red Deer, Alberta for the Canada Winter Games 2019. There will be 4 rounds of shooting for each skier, 2 from the prone position laying down on their stomachs, and then 2 from the standing position. We can see some skiers being cheered on right there by some very dedicated supporters. The weather today at Riverbend is a lot more favorable than it has been for much of the run here. Here's Leo Grandbois leading the race coming in bib number 41. Partly cloudy, -6 degrees, feels like -6 as well, so some pretty still wind out there. Much better than the frigid, ice crystal-y conditions they've been skiing in coming into today. A nice little reprieve for everyone working the games up here in Red Deer. Here is Leo Grandbois of Quebec. He was the winner by 22.5 seconds over Reed Lubstrom in the sprint race.
Okay, here they come. The men now filing in on range.
He's joined there, skier number 43, Andre Siku from BC. 42, Reed Lubstrom already lost the spot to Siku in the skiing element of this, but although not by much. Lubstrom is part of a very strong Alberta team here. As with the women, the men are very, very strong. Lubstrom's one of the 4 members of the powerhouse Alberta team to compete in Alserblies, Slovakia at the World Junior Championships last month. And there's Leo Grandbois. He's got to go in for a penalty loop right now. That is not an ideal start for Grandbois. We'll see how many loops he has to complete. We do not have that information at the ready as of this moment, but we will get it to you when we can.
That was Ryan Elton, also shooting.
And that looks like Skier number 47, Lucas Smith of Manitoba. We saw his sister Megan earlier on in the women's pursuit. He skied last month at the World Junior Cup Championships and the Junior Championships in Olsztyn, Slovakia. At the Junior Championships, he finished 60 in the sprint event there. 60th, sorry. There we see some of the skiers in the 70s coming through that penalty loop and up that hill. And here's skier number 62 with Jeremy Lee from New Brunswick coming in. Love those New Brunswick uniforms. The red and green, a little Christmassy. I know it's February, but nice and festive. Lee's one of the younger athletes competing today. These Canada Winter Games are just his second competition outside of his home club of Charlow, New Brunswick. He's in grade 11, and he will be sticking around for the cross-country competition next week here in Red Deer. That is Jeremy Lee, number 62. We see number 57, Frederic Amel from Quebec, leaving the blocks here. Let's see if he's got to go do some penalty loops. Once again, the penalty loops are 150 meters. Every missed shot results in one penalty loop. That can be the difference between winning or losing one of these races. Only 3 shooters Sunday in the sprint went clean through their 2 shooting rounds in the sprint. They were Andre Sekou of BC, who finished 3rd, Ethan Algra of BC, who finished 8th, and then Zachary Demers of Quebec, who finished 9th. And some of the heavy hitters had some rough shooting days. Kieran Marchand of BC is one of the favorites. He had 4 shooting penalties from 10 shots. Chad Burling of Alberta, another member of that Alberta team, had 5 shooting penalties on Sunday out of 10 shots. It can be the difference. Halden Borglum, for example, one of the favorites in this event, had 3 errors from the standing position on Sunday, finished 1:24 back of the winner, Leo Grandbois. And it takes about 30 seconds to do one of those penalty loops, so you do the math as to what it could have meant for Halden Borglum had he shot clean on Sunday.
Go King!
Now we're seeing skier number 76 come into the shooting range. That is Liam Ellis of PEI. His teammate Simon Hale, his mother Judy, is the coach of both Simon and Liam Ellis. This is Spencer Littlefair of Northwest Territories. He's leaving the shooting range and looks like he's headed directly into that dreaded penalty loop. And we see another skier there. I can't pick out the number, but onto his second loop. Don't want to be having 2 loops to have to do. That's an extra minute or so. That'll put you behind the pack. And you don't want to be relying on skiers ahead of you to be missing shots for you to get up that ground. Here's skier number 71. That is Samuel Parsons of Newfoundland. Coming out of that penalty loop, there's a little bit of a traffic jam going on when you come out of that loop there. Gotta have your head on a swivel, it seems. Here we see skier number 77, Lucas Han of Newfoundland. He's competed in the Eastern Championships as well as the Nor-Am Cup. And just recently started getting his younger brother into the sport as well, so we could have many hands on our hands going forward. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. There's Leo Grandbois, the leader, coming in for his second round of prone shooting. Seems as though he has not relinquished that lead, although we are getting updates from the ground. Here's Grandbois in to shoot. He's joined by skiers number 44, Logan Pletz of Saskatchewan, and skier number 43, Andre Sekou of BC. 45, Ryan Eldon is in there. These are some of the guys who are going to be very much in the running here. This is 4 of the top 5. No sign of Reed Lovestrom, though. He came into this race in second position. and is one of the favorites in this event. Once again, was in Oserboli, Slovakia for the World Junior Championships last month. There's Leo leaving the starter, the shooting block. And let's see if he's headed back into that penalty loop. Oh, and he's not. He's gone clean. It's one of the most suspenseful parts of this broadcast is, are they going right or left? We do not have the capability of seeing if they've hit all of their shots, so it's a bit of a guessing game. But that just adds to the fun. In comes number 50 and 55. 50 is Jake Draper of the Yukon. 55 is Tobias Quinn of Ontario. Quinn skis out of the Lake Superior Biathlon Club in Thunder Bay. And there we see number 46, Halden Borglum, one of the favorites, coming out of the shooter's range. Is he going left or right? Left or right? Looks like he's headed right for some penalty loopage. There we have number 4. There's Reed Lovestrom right there. He again started in second position. Looks like he's fallen a bit back from the pack. And we currently have Leo Grandbois has shot clean through 2 rounds. He is still leading. Followed by 4 skiers from BC. Saku Eldon, and I believe Ethan Algra and Kieran Marchand, if I'm not mistaken. So BC having a great day at Riverbend today. Of course, Jillian Gowling and Larissa Black went 1-2 in the women's pursuit event just a little while ago. Some skiers coming out of that penalty loop. That looks like one of the skiers from PI, if I'm not mistaken. No, that's Ontario. That's Tobias Quinn. Some of these uniforms. They need to be brighter uniforms. Maybe some lime green. Little teal. I would not object. Here's Keegan Tremblay, number 59 from Ontario. He won gold in the sprint last year at the Manitoba Provincial Championships and had quite the duel with Manitoba's Lucas Smith, who is also here today. I believe he started in the 7th position. He did. Smith came second in that sprint that Keegan Tremblay won at the Manitoba Championships. And then they swapped podium spots for the pursuit event. There's skier number 74. That's Ian Mitchell. Graduated the Red River Nordic Ski and Biathlon Club. Moved on to the Augustana Vikings team for the University of Alberta, the only collegiate biathlon team in the country.
Let's go, Ryan, let's go. Keep it going.
Mostly something reserved for European countries once again. Yeah, this is not... We're not seeing Norwegians out here today, but the Albertans are very close when it comes to biathlon here in Canada. Although not today. BC has taken over the mantle with the gold and silver once again in the women's pursuit and are currently 2 through 5 behind Leo Grandbois of Quebec at the front of this pack. Here is number 68, Felix Cote of New Brunswick. This is his first Canada Games. Cote is currently signed up for the military and is currently awaiting his call to service. He was also named the 2015-16 Biathlon New Brunswick Male Athlete of the Year. He's from Fredericton, New Brunswick. Here we see his teammate from New Brunswick, Colin Niles. It's his second Canada Games for Niles. Getting a report from the ground, it seems as though Andre Saku and Leo Grandbois are very much in a battle for first place. We're seeing some skiers there. That's 61, I believe. That is Jesse Byrne of Newfoundland. First athlete we've seen today in the men's side from the Rock. Finished 21st on Sunday, did Byrne, but he was pretty good from the shooting range. Just a pair of misses. And this is Jesse Byrne's 4th Canada Games. He first competed as a wrestler at the Summer Games way back in 2013, placing 9th in his weight class. He's a third-year biochem student at Memorial University, and he's also competed in biathlon at 2 previous Winter Games. Here we have number 41, once again the leader, Grandbois, followed there by Ryan Eldon of BC. It is a real battle at the top of this leaderboard among Grandbois from Quebec, who has shot clean through his first 2 prone rounds, now onto the standing. He'll shoot standing and then do it one more time, and then it's a all-out sprint to the finish. And they look like they've both wrapped up here. Eldon is off quickly. Let's see if they're headed to the penalty loops. It looks as though Eldon is clean, but Grandbois has to go into the penalty loop. This is huge for Ryan Eldon of British Columbia. Grandbois had led the entire way, was clean through his first 2 rounds of shooting. Here's number 44, Logan Plutz of Saskatchewan, again one of the favorites coming in, followed by Halden Borglum, another one of the loaded Alberta team. Here's 42, Reed Lovestrom. He's got the specs on. Will they help him shoot? Who's to say? So there's Eldon there. Sorry, not Eldon, that's Reed Lovestrom. Eldon is in the lead from British Columbia. Lovestrom, of course, was second in the sprint on Sunday. He led after the second lap of the sprint. Ended up not being able to hold on or hold off Leo Grandbois of Quebec. And we're seeing them come out of the shooting range now. Little info on your leader, Ryan Eldon of British Columbia. His nickname is the Mustache Man. He's from Quesnel, BC. He incurred 3 shooting penalties on Sunday. Finished just a minute and 13 seconds back of the lead, so those penalties were key in keeping Eldon from a higher position, perhaps even keeping him off the podium. He's got a pair of top 20 finishes in the IBU Junior Cup circuit as well, and had a top 40 placing at the IBU Junior Championships in 2017. So not exactly surprised that Ryan Eldon is leading this pack right now. There's number 62, Jeremy Lee of New Brunswick. Once again, Lee will be competing in the cross-country competition next week here in Red Deer. Getting word that Andre Sekou has missed 1 shot.
Let's go! You got it. He's on.
As did Leo Grandbois, as we saw there. This is skier number 57, Frederic Hamel of Quebec. Skis out of the Club Plain Air Biathlon in Estrie, Quebec. Excuse my horrendous French pronunciation there. He's the only one on the range now.
No, 45 is right here.
Once again, recapping the results of the earlier race of the women's 7.5 kilometer pursuit. Gold goes to Larissa Black, excuse me. Excuse me, I got that confused. The BC athletes have confused me. Jillian Gowling of Quebec, of BC, won the gold, followed by Larissa Black, her teammate from BC. Then Pascal Paradis of Alberta got the bronze. And still some medals to figure out here at the men's 10-kilometer pursuit. Coming into the shooting range now, Aaron Bargan, his sister we saw earlier, Chloe. Bargans are a busy group this week. Their mother, Rebecca, competed in biathlon at the Canada Games in 1991. And Aaron skis out of the Blue Mountain Bullets Club in North Battleford, Saskatchewan. Here we see Lucas Hahn of Newfoundland coming in. And there's Zach Connolly in 78. Again, he was the only member of this field who did not compete in the sprint, so he was placed at the back of the field. There's number 61. That's Jesse Byrne of Newfoundland. Looks as though he's had a bit of struggle on the shooting range as well. There we see number 59, Keegan Tremblay of Ontario. And he seems destined for the penalty. Still waiting to get a look. And actually, that might be our leader, Ryan Eldon of Alberta, coming into the shooter's blocks here. He's got himself quite a lead here, it seems. He's moving on to his second round of standing shooting, his final round of shooting. This will be critical for Ryan Eldon. If he goes clean here, he pretty much has a clean jaunt to a gold medal here in the 10-kilometer pursuit race at the Canada Winter Games. No pressure here on Ryan Eldon. We'll see. We can't really have a good look on him right here because of all the shooters in the range right now, but we will definitely keep an eye on him as he moves out of the range following his shooting. You can imagine he's going to take some time here, although there's Leo Grandbois. Looks like he's made up a little bit of time after that penalty loop he incurred on the last round of shooting. And here goes Eldon. Will he or will he not be going into the penalty loop? Is Ryan Eldon in the penalty loop? It looks as though Eldon is clean. Eldon has shot clean. He is on his way, it looks like, to a gold medal after shooting clean in the final round of standing shooting. Leo Grandbois we saw there in the shooter's range as well. We'll have to wait to see if he's going to find himself escaping the dastardly penalty loop. There's Grandbois. He's leaving now. Looks to be in second place. Is he going to have to go back into the penalty loop? Looks like left, right. He is going right. Grandbois has incurred another penalty loop. He's missed one. Also getting word that Aiden Hoope of Yukon is a DNF in today's race. He is not finishing the race. And Ryan Eldon of British Columbia looks to be on his way to making it a BC sweep atop the podiums here at the Biathlon Pursuit events for the men and the women. Again, Jillian Gowling won the gold earlier on.
Here comes Holden Borglum, Alberta. Oh, Alberta on mass. Tommy Holden.
Getting word that Andre Sekou of BC has hit 4 of his 5 shots. He's very much in the running for the podium here, although it does seem like Ryan Eldon is going to walk to a gold medal. There's Halden Borglum. It's going to be paramount that he goes clean here. If he can go clean, he might be still in the mix for a medal as well. We see in the back there 47 as well, one of the favorites coming in, Lucas Smith of Manitoba, coming into the shooter's range which for what looks like his final round of standing shooting. I think there's Reed Lufstrom there too. Looks like he's gained a bit of ground, but we'll see if he's headed for the penalty loop. Here is Borglum. My favorite part, left or right. Where is it going? And it looks like Borglum is destined for some penalty loops as well, as was Lufstrom, I believe. So 2 of the favorites, Alberta not having the day that it seemed like they might, coming in with the podium sweep in the women's event. And then Lufstrom had the silver medal on Sunday in the sprint. So 4 medals for Alberta. It could be as little as 1 in the bronze, as far as the bronze goes for the women, and then we'll see for the men. But it looks like it's Ryan Eldon for sure is going to be the gold medal winner. And then silver and bronze are still very much up for grabs. Andre Sekou from BC in there, Logan Kletz from Saskatchewan in there as well. We're seeing Lucas Smith leave the penalty loop, it seems. And here's a look at your leader, Ryan Eldon of British Columbia, the Mustache Man as he is known. Looks like he's making his way towards the finish line. That looks like Logan Pletz there in the green from Saskatchewan. The green outfits stand out very nicely. I appreciate the designers of the Saskatchewan uniforms. Here we see skiers number 73 and 55. 73 is Francois Leclerc of New Brunswick. He had the most shooting errors of any racer on Sunday with 9 in total, so he's going to look to improve on that today. And then 55 there was Tobias Quinn of Ontario. Here's number 72. That is Simon Hale of PEI. Once again, he is coached by his mother, Judy, and his sister, Sophie, and his father, Steven, are his 2 wax techs. So it's a family affair here for the Hales. Shouldn't be too long now before Ryan Eldon claims the gold that is sitting there waiting for him at the finish line. Had himself a very clutch, clean shooting day. And it looks like we might have just seen, not sure who we just saw go around there. There's number 53. That's Michio Green of Saskatchewan. Here's 49. Oh, it didn't come to the finish. Here is Ryan Eldon of British Columbia, the mustache man. Clutch shooting, and he is going to finish in the gold medal position, making it 2 gold medals for British Columbia here today at Riverbend Golf and Recreation Center. And he looks thrilled, almost doesn't even look tired. A really impressive race for Ryan Eldon of British Columbia, of Quesnel, British Columbia. Here we see skier number 49, Zachary Demers of Quebec. He was one of those 3 trouble-free shooters on Sunday in the sprint event. He skis out of Club Plein Air Biathlon in Estrie, Quebec as well. Still a lot of race here for those behind Ryan Eldon. We have a glove there. And here comes Leo Grandbois of Quebec, came in as the gold medal winner in the sprint. He started 5 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack, and he ended up relinquishing that to Ryan Eldon. But he will still take home silver. A very good weekend, or week here in Red Deer for Leo Grandbois of Quebec. Now a gold and silver medalist at the Canada Winter Games 2019 in Red Deer. Bronze medals still very much up for grabs. Andre Sekou from BC seems to be in that mix, as does Logan Pletz, Halden Borglum, Reed Lovstrom. Though I'm not exactly sure who is in that 3rd position right now. Waiting for some updates from the ground at Riverbend. And here, coming into the finish, it looks like number 43. That is Andre Sekou of British Columbia. That makes it 4 medals for BC today. A very impressive showing for the British Columbians in biathlon today. Of course, Jillian Gowling and Larissa Black, gold, silver in the women's pursuit, 7.5 kilometers earlier today. And now, Ryan Eldon and Andre Sekou, gold and bronze. We've got a couple finishers coming in here. There's Reed Lovstrom, started in 2nd. And it looks like a big jump there from skier number 54, perhaps, Chad Burling. I have to get a look at that bid there. But an Alberta skier has made quite the leap from the 50s into 4th or 5th position. Here's Logan Pletz. Looks like he's going to finish 6th from Saskatchewan. And look at these guys, just exhausted. 56 there was Thomas Hulsman, another one of the Albertans who was at the World Junior Championships in Slovakia last month, a very strong skier. Had himself a disappointing shooting day on Sunday, 5 shooting penalties. Obviously, he shot a lot cleaner today and made the jump from 16th in the field up to number 4, I believe, by my count. There is skier number 50. That is Jake Draper of Yukon, followed by Halden Borglum, who I don't think will be pleased with that finish. He's coming in Right about 8th, I believe, by my count at this point. 48, that's Ethan Algra of BC. Double gold at the BC Winter Games in 2016 when he was just 16 years old for Ethan Algra. There we're seeing skier number 77. That is Lucas Hahn coming in for his final round of shooting. 66 is Levi Brunel of Manitoba. I like the Manitoba uniforms as well, very easy to spot. Oh, we got a little race here for some seating, 47 and 52. Oh, and a couple stumbles at the line. I don't know who crossed the line there first. I'm going to give it to Lucas Smith of Manitoba. But Kieran Marchand of BC was right there, and you can see them having a laugh with each other. Neither of them on the podium, but you can see that does not quite matter. These guys competitive to the very last second of the race. Oh, and it looks like Marchand got through first there. It was a little bit more daring, a little more willing to fall down, and he got through for, I believe, 9th position, although it's kind of all adding up at this point. We don't have the exact official results in just yet. Coming into the finish, that is 55. Tobias Quinn of Ontario has improved on his 15th position in the sprint. And there's 49. That's Zachary Demers of Quebec. He'll fall down a little bit from where he finished on Sunday. Demers is part of the under-20 national development team. Thing to keep in mind with all of these racers is there's a lot of biathlon to be done in their careers, all of them 20 or younger, just getting their start. Biathlon's the kind of sport as well where you tend to peak a little bit later. You get those endurance muscles built up. Think about Ole Einar Bjorndalen, for example, with Norway, competing well into his late 30s. Here's number 54, Chad Burling of Alberta. I mistakenly gave him 4th position earlier on, but still a pretty solid finish here for Burling. Skis out of the Calgary Biathlon Racers Club. And a couple more racers coming in. I think that's 51. And collapsing in a heap there. It looks like racer number 57, I believe. That's Frederic Hamel of Quebec. A really, really excruciating race, 10 kilometers. The difficulty, it's really easy for me to criticize the shooting from this warm, heated studio at Gary Harris Center. But it's a remarkably difficult sport. The shooting becomes so much more difficult when the heart rate is elevated like that. Here's number 53, Michio Green of Saskatchewan comes in. 19-year-old from Lorong, Saskatchewan. There's number 76 on your screen there. Looks like he's shot clean. That is Liam Ellis of PEI with a clean round of shooting. Into the finish, we have number 59. That is Keegan Tremblay of Ontario. Once again, he won gold in the sprint last year at the Manitoba Provincial Championships. So just about half the field has now finished the race. Still some shooting being done. There is skier number 73. That is Francois Leclerc from New Brunswick. And here's skier number 61 coming into the finish. That is Jesse Byrne of Newfoundland. Love the camaraderie by all of these athletes in very much equal pain at the end of this, although Byrne looks to be in surprisingly good shape for someone who just skied 10K. There's Francois Leclerc leaving the shooting range. Did he shoot cleanly? We will see. So he's just getting his bearings here. It looks like he is headed for the penalty loop. Coming in here, skier number 78. There's Zach Connolly. He made himself a big jump from the back of the pack today to finish in the middle of the pack. Zach Connolly from Ontario. He just returned from the World Junior Championships in Osterblitz, Slovakia as well. There's 62. That is Jeremy Lee of New Brunswick, followed by Romeo Champagne. Once again, the coolest name in the field today. From Yukon. Champagne of Biathlon Yukon's Velocity Squad. A year ago finished 6th in the Western Canadian Championship 6-kilometer sprint for senior boys. And still some skiers filing through the course at Riverbend in the northern part of Red Deer, Alberta. There is number 68. That is Felix Cote of New Brunswick. Comes across the line in the middle of the pack. Looks like he may have improved upon his 28th place finish in the sprint. Still working on getting those exact numbers of where the guys have finished, but seems to be a slight improvement for Cote. Here's Francois Leclerc of New Brunswick, making his way through the penalty loops, and then it looks like he's out now, so he is clean of those penalty loops for the race. I believe that was his last round of shooting. Once again, you can catch all of the Canada Games 2019 action you can handle at canadagames.live. There are webcasts for any event you could possibly want. Table tennis, ringette, hockey, gymnastics is just about to begin. Plenty of events for you to watch at canadagames.live. The next time you hear my voice will be tomorrow morning for the long track speed skating 1500 meter final. Or it might be the 1000. I need to check my schedule. Still some skiers making their way through the final little climb here towards the finish. Let's wait for them to come into view here. That looks to be number 72, Simon Hale of PEI, and Lucas Han of Newfoundland. Lucas Han looking pretty gassed, as you could totally reasonably understand with a race like this. Coming into the finish now is number 69, Colin Niles of New Brunswick, followed by number 66, Levi Brunel of Manitoba. And a couple of races here fighting for seeding. And it looks as though 64, Brett Down of Saskatchewan, has just inched out Mark Naylor of Manitoba in the 67 bib.
Great job.
There's Lucas Hand coming back around from Newfoundland. His teammate Jesse Byrne finished just a few moments ago. Once again, to recap, the gold medal goes to BC's Ryan Eldon, followed up by Leo Grandbois of Quebec, and then Andre Secou of British Columbia. So the powerhouse Alberta team left off the podium, and they only nab one of the 6 medals available today in the biathlon events. Jillian Gowling won gold for BC in the women's pursuit earlier on, followed by her teammate Larissa Black of BC, and then Pascal Paradis, the lone medal for Alberta here. Alberta is akin to your most powerhouse Scandinavian countries when it comes to biathlon in Canada. Not the day for Alberta today, though. That there is skier number 71, Samuel Parsons of Newfoundland. He's been competing for 3 years after a friend gave him a nudge to test out the sport. And he's been a part of the Newfoundland biathlon team ever since. There's Simon Hale, PEI, coming to the finish. Got to get these guys some energy bars or something like that. The grueling nature of this race is pretty remarkable to watch. There's Francois Leclerc of New Brunswick. He looks gassed himself. There's a great shot from one of our camera operators down there at Riverbend
I think that was the last person that just passed me.
of Leclerc coming around. There's skier number 74. That's Ian Mitchell
I think that was the last
of
person.
Manitoba. And the Augustana Vikings, the University of Alberta.
Let's go, boys!
And it seems as though we're close to having all of the skiers off the course and at the finish line and ready to go lay down in their beds. That's Leclerc of New Brunswick in those festive green and red New Brunswick outfits. Into the finish now. We have 75, that is Matthew Jelly. Followed by 71, that is Samuel Parsons. Jelly, an interesting little nugget on Matthew Jelly. He's a many sport athlete. He's represented hockey PEI in 3 competitions, as well as cycling PEI. He's a provincial champ in 2 different mountain biking disciplines. And he was cycling PEI's 2018 Junior Male Athlete of the Year.
Let's go, Lucas!
And he has now finished the 10K biathlon pursuit here at the Canada Games in Red Deer. There's Lucas Hand of Newfoundland. Looks like he's coming around close to the finish.
That is Lucas Hahn. Newfoundland, Labrador.
Once again, Ryan Eldon of BC is your gold medal winner, followed by Leo Grandbois of Quebec and Andre Secou of BC. There is Francois Leclerc of New Brunswick coming into the finish line, wrapping up his race. And here is Lucas Hand. Han is the lone racer still out on the course. Once again, Han is from Newfoundland. He's competed in the Eastern Championships as well as the Nor-Am Cup and is currently recruiting his younger brother to start taking part in biathlon as well. Still waiting for official results on the race, but we can tell you once again that the gold medal goes to Ryan Eldon, who began the race in 5th place, 25 seconds back of Leo Grandbois, I guess 20 seconds back. Eldon shot perfectly when he needed to and won by quite a margin. He was followed up by Leo Grandbois of Quebec. Grandbois came in to this race
I believe so.
as the leader, started 5 seconds ahead. We saw Grandbois' sister Pauline Grandbois earlier in the women's pursuit. And he won the gold medal, of course, in the sprint on Sunday. He is now a silver medalist in the 10-kilometer pursuit. These athletes will have the relay coming up as well. And then in 3rd place, with his 2nd bronze medal in as many events here at the biathlon competition at Red Deer, Andre Secou of BC. Fun fact about bronze medalist Andre Secou, he was formerly a competitive rugby player When he was in grade 9, he was asked to play for a local under-18 team in Coquitlam, BC as a grade 9, and he broke his collarbone in the first half of the game, but stuck it out and finished the match anyway. That is your bronze medalist, Andre Sekou. Looking for official confirmation of who finished 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th on down. But there was some pretty exciting racing near the end of that race there, between the likes of Kieran Marchand and Lucas Smith of Manitoba, Marchand from BC. And Lucas Hand should be coming around to finish up the race pretty soon here. Really gritty effort from Hand today.
We have one athlete still on course.
Just finishing this 10K race is an accomplishment. And we'll wait to see when he does finally come around the end there. We will see him cross the finish line. As a finisher of the 10K pursuit in men's biathlon at the Canada Winter Games. There is no shame in that distinction whatsoever.
The last guy's just gonna follow me. Yeah, he might take a while.
Some great racing today, always unpredictable biathlon. Comes down to shooting, speed on the skis.
Want to say a big thank you to our camera operators at Riverbend today. Bryant, Kaylee, Tom, and Zach have done a fantastic job. Thanks to our director, Nick, as well, for bringing you all the action from the men's 10K pursuit. Once again, the gold goes to Ryan Eldon of BC, silver to Leo Grandbois of Quebec, bronze to Andre Sekou. Earlier in the women's race, gold went to Jillian Gowling of BC, followed by her teammate from BC, Larissa Black. And Pascal Paradis with the lone medal for Alberta. Normally a powerhouse in this event in Canada. Alberta gets just one medal today, though they still do lead the medal standings. Still just one skier out on the course. That is Lucas Hand of Newfoundland. There's Lucas Hand working his way through the back part of the course. Once again, there will be more biathlon later in the week. The team relay will come up later on. And we should see a hand come around the finish very soon here from Newfoundland.
Look how far away this is. That's ridiculous.
He's rounded the corner. He's going to catch his breath on the short downhill.
Once again, another shot of Hand making his way through the finishing part of the course. Plenty of other action for you to check out today at the Canada Winter Games. Go to canadagames.live. Wheelchair basketball is taking place. Got some table tennis as well. Ringette at 5:30. Alberta against Manitoba. That's a big one. Boxing will take place as well at 6 p.m. All of which you can watch at canadagames.live. And here comes Han, just about into the final stretch of this course, up that final hill, powering his way.
Here's our
Also, a couple hockey games going on tonight. We've got PEI taking on BC at 7:30, and New Brunswick taking on Newfoundland at 7:30 as well. You can watch both of those games on webcast as well.
This athlete is skiing on courage. Good job, Lucas.
And coming up tomorrow, we have long track speed skating. The final 1,000 meters at 9:30. Here is Lucas Hand coming closer and closer to the finish here. Still skating his way along the backstretch of this course at Riverbend Golf and Recreation Center.
I just heard a story about one of our female athletes from Alberta. At the start line, one of the
And Hand should be coming around
the ground in front of her.
towards the finish very soon here.
They popped it back on.
Well, the Volunteers crossing the track, playing a dangerous game
Fell off again.
as Newfoundland's Hand comes around.
Played out, but if you thought shooting these targets with your rifle intact was difficult, try shooting it without your sight on. So you never know what you're going to get.
Still waiting for Lucas Hand, the final racer in the men's 10K pursuit, to come to the finish line. Once again, the gold medal goes to Ryan Eldon of British Columbia, followed by Leo Grandebois of BC. Andre Sekou. And here comes to the finish, Lucas Hand of Newfoundland. Looks as though he is just about to make his way across the finish line to complete the 10K biathlon. The volunteers and spectators there at the venue at Riverbend showing their support for Lucas Hand as he comes to the finish to wrap up this biathlon event. And there he is, number 77, Lucas Hand of Newfoundland, comes to the finish to wrap up our coverage of today's men's biathlon 10-kilometer pursuit. Thank you so much for tuning into today's action, and keep it tuned to CanadaGames.live for all of the live streaming of the Canada Games in Red Deer 2019. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have been Sean Woodley, and we will talk to you next time.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Great, thank you.
Did you see that link I
No,
gave you?
no, not yet.
I did too.